another kind of monument, such as a triumphal church, which was the monument Eiffel's conservative colleagues preferred. Once chosen, though, the tower's form involved choices rather than being dictated by circumstances. Straight rather than curving struts would have been much cheaper, but efficiency alone did not rule Eiffel's vision, which is true more largely. The built environment is more than a reflection of economics or politics. Beyond these conditions, the forms of the built environment are the product of the maker's will. It might seem that cité and ville should fit together seamlessly. How people want to live should be expressed in how cities are built. But just here lies a great problem. Experience in a city, as in the bedroom or on the battlefield, is rarely seamless. It is much more often full of contradictions and jagged edges. In an essay on cosmopolitan life, Immanuel Kant observed in 1784 that out of the crooked timber of humanity no straight thing was ever made. A city is crooked because it is diverse, full of migrants speaking dozens of languages, because its inequalities are so glaring, svelte ladies lunching a few blocks away from exhausted transport cleaners, because of its stresses, as in concentrating too many young graduates chasing too few jobs. Can the physical ville straighten out such difficulties? Will plans to pedestrianize the street do anything about the housing crisis? Will the use of sodium borosilicate glass in buildings make people more tolerant of immigrants? The city seems crooked in that asymmetry afflicts its cité and its ville. It is sometimes right that there be a misfit between the builder's own values and those of the public. This misfit ought to occur if people reject living with neighbors unlike themselves. Many Europeans find Muslim migrants indigestible. Big chunks of Anglo-America feel Mexican migrants should be deported. And from Jerusalem to Mumbai, those who pray to different gods find it difficult to live in the same place. One result of this social recoil appears in the gated communities, which are today, throughout the world, the most popular form of new residential development. The urbanists should go against the will of the people, refusing to build gated communities. Prejudice should be denied in the name of justice. But there's no straightforward way to translate justice into physical form, as I discovered early on in a planning job. At the beginning of the 1960s, a new school was proposed for a working-class area in Boston. Would it be racially integrated or segregated, as were most working-class parts of the city in those days? If integrated, we planners would have to provide large parking and holding spaces for buses to bring black children to and from school. The white parents resisted integration covertly by claiming the community needed more green space, not bus parking lots. Planners ought to serve the community rather than impose an alien set of values. What right did people like me, Harvard-educated, armed with sheaths of statistics on segregation and impeccably executed blueprints, have to tell the bus drivers, cleaners, and industrial workers of South Boston how to live? I am glad to say my bosses stood their ground. They did not succumb to class guilt. Still, the jaggedness between lived and built cannot be resolved simply by the planner displaying ethical uprightness. In our case, this only made things worse. Our virtue signaling breeded more anger among the white public. This is the ethical problem in cities today. Should urbanism represent society as it is, or seek to change it? If Kant is right, ville and cité can never fit together seamlessly. What, then, is to be done? 2. Open. I thought I had found one answer to this when I taught planning at MIT 20 years ago. The Media Lab was near my office, and for my generation it shone as an epicenter of innovation in new digital technology, translating innovative ideas into practical results. Founded by Nicholas Negroponte in 1985, these projects included a super cheap computer for poor kids, medical